dangerous groups that we're dealing with now.
Cuando amas lo que haces, cuando disfrutas lo que haces, creo que la palabra sacrificio sí cuesta un poquito explicarla, porque para mí cuando tú amas lo que haces, pues no es sacrificio, no quiere decir que sea fácil, pues se vuelve, vamos a ponerle que menos difícil, ¿no? ¿Por qué? Porque disfruto mucho lo que hago. Ha habido grandes peleas entre mexicanos y puertorriqueños, un muchacho joven, fuerte, y creo que es una pelea atractiva para la gente, por eso es que decidí hacer esta pelea y creo que es una pelea interesante.
You think I'm scared of you? La chinga de tu vida te voy a dar. Gracias. Gracias.
No, mi legado ya está y obviamente estamos en un deporte donde se gana y se pierde, pero como te digo, como lo acabas de decir, ¿no? Siempre nos preparamos para ganar y eso ya está escrito, ¿no? El sábado levantaremos la mano y mi legado no cambia, he hecho muchísimo en el boxeo, he hecho muchas cosas y mi legado ya está ahí.
Les pieds loin d'avant, les pieds loin d'avant sur la machine. He started very young. I think he was 16 years old. 15 years old. He have a lot of fight now. I think his performance is going down, but he's still very dangerous. I think it's perfect timing for me to beat him.
The biggest star in Mexican boxing is set to return this September against a fighter once viewed as a future world champion. Canelo Alvarez, the former undisputed super middleweight king, is making his comeback on September 12th against Christian Mbilli. Canelo has not fought since last September, when he suffered a loss to Terence Crawford that cost him his undisputed crown. Now he returns to challenge for the WBC super middleweight title against the French Cameroonian contender. The fight will take place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, marking the first time in Canelo's career that he will compete without a massive Mexican crowd behind him as he looks to reclaim championship gold. The two fighters recently crossed paths in Egypt, giving fans their first look at them together since the matchup was announced.
Hey guys, please be careful because this is company very dangerous. Okay? Left, right, please. Yes.
Speaking about his return, Canelo revealed in a recent interview that his time away from boxing was due to major elbow surgery following an injury he suffered during the Terence Crawford fight. He also gave fans encouraging news, confirming that he is back in the gym preparing for his upcoming showdown with Christian Mbilli. Although Mbilli is the opponent he ultimately chose, Canelo admitted he had several other options available. Despite the loss to Crawford, he also expressed confidence that he remains one of boxing's biggest stars and the sport's biggest attraction.
You've been out since September. You had elbow surgery after that. You're now back in the camp, tuning things up. How does the body feel?
Oh, feels great. I've been in the gym for a month and a half now, and feels great. I did some sparrings already, and feels great. I'm really excited for the comeback.
And, you know, despite your last result, you have guys calling you out like in a line going around the block. Even Richard Schaefer's on the line, hoping to get in to get the payday. You got guys calling you out at middleweight, super middleweight, even cruiserweight, that are like, we want to fight Canelo next. You've seen, despite everything, you're still the hunted. Everyone wants to get into the Canelo sweepstakes, and I'm sure you're not surprised.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. And you can tell everybody is looking for the payday.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm glad because you can tell I'm still the face of boxing.
Well, there's no doubt about it.
Canelo also explained why this comeback means so much to him. With his sights set on reclaiming world titles, he is determined to face the biggest names holding belts. While his full attention is on the Christian Mbilli fight, he and his team are already discussing possible opponents for 2027. One name that has surfaced is fellow Mexican Jamie Munguia, but Canelo quickly dismissed the idea of a rematch. The two met in May 2024, when Canelo successfully defended his undisputed super middleweight crown. Asked if he would face Munguia again, Canelo said he has no interest because he considers him a friend. Instead, he and his team are exploring other opportunities, including the possibility of moving to another weight class in pursuit of more world titles. He also rejected retirement talk, saying people will always have opinions, but he remains focused on achieving his goals.
Last time out we spoke, you said you want to reclaim what's yours. Is this the first step to reclaiming everything in the division?
We don't know that. Obviously, we always want to make the best fights out there and break records. And when I step in the ring, I always break records, and that motivates myself. So, and we don't know. We 100% focus on this fight and win this fight, and then we'll see. But that's the point is fight every single champion.
Because you say that, and I was thinking a couple of weeks ago, you were there supporting a former opponent who's now a good friend, Jaime Munguia, and I'm like, he just won a piece of the super middleweight crown, and if you two are the last guys standing, it puts you two in an awkward position.
No, I'm not gonna fight Munguia again.
Yeah.
No, we are in the same team, and we like Munguia. He's a great person, and he worked very hard, and we never gonna fight again. But we're always looking for good fights, big fights, and I think there's other big fights out there.
Now, after your last fight, some of the critics were out there and saying maybe age is finally catching up to Canelo. Maybe, he's had this long career, he's accomplished everything that someone could accomplish. He's got enough money in the bank to buy buildings. Does any of that get to you, or you just push that out like, I'll show them in my next fight?
No, I know, and I feel myself. People talk every time, good and bad. And at the end of the day, there is just opinions, because I feel great. I don't want to say I'm gonna show them, because I don't really want to show anybody. I want to show myself, and do my best every time I step in the ring. But people talk, and that's fine. That's fine.
The boxing world still wants to see Canelo face the biggest names in the sport, and one matchup fans continue to talk about is a showdown with the Mexican monster, David Benavidez. Even though many believe the fight is unlikely to happen, some supporters still held out hope that the two rivals would eventually settle their feud in the ring. Canelo, however, appears to have ended those hopes, suggesting the fight is no longer realistic because Benavidez has already moved up to cruiserweight, making a return to the lower weight classes extremely difficult.
So, what did you make of David Benavidez's performance against Zurdo and him calling you out after that fight?
Yeah, I think every single boxer for any division, they calling me out. So this is something, nothing's new for me. But he did good in the fight.
Are you surprised after all these years he's still calling you names and looking to get that fight, even with him boxing as high as cruiserweight?
No, I'm not surprised.
Is it realistic for 175?
Huh?
Is it realistic to fight a light heavyweight?
Who?
Benavidez.
I don't think he can make even 175 anymore. I don't know, but it's not my problem.
Speaking of Canelo's next opponent, Christian Mbilli, he is clearly excited about this opportunity. In a recent interview on the Ring podcast, Mbilli said he is thrilled to finally get the chance to face Canelo. The 31-year-old revealed that he has wanted this fight for a long time, but he and his team had to wait while Canelo was committed to his blockbuster showdown with Terence Crawford last year. Mbilli also spoke about the negotiations, admitting they were difficult, but now that the contract is signed and the date is set, he is ready to embrace the challenge.
It was a surprise for me when they asked for the fight, but I'm very happy to fight Canelo for my next fight.
Did you have before Terence Crawford announced his retirement, were you thinking there might be a chance you might fight Crawford since he had all the titles?
Maybe everything was possible, but he was waiting for Crawford. But some people say he's gonna retire, some people say he's gonna stay, but we was waiting for him.
Now, you've been waiting for an opportunity like this your entire career. How quick did you sign that contract when it came over?
The contract was not seen very quick because negotiation was very hard. My team was working for this fight. We are waiting for this fight along of many years before, and we stay active. We take a lot of fight, a lot of boxer, difficult fight, and when the fight come, my team was like, they make sure that I have a good contract, and after contract negotiation finish, we sing very fast.
During the interview, Christian Mbilli made an interesting comment about Canelo's age and why he believes this is the right time to face him. He said taking on a fighter coming off major elbow surgery could give him an advantage. However, Mbilli quickly clarified that point, stressing that despite his age and recent surgery, Canelo remains one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing. Even so, Mbilli is determined to prove himself on the biggest stage and says he plans to give Canelo the toughest fight he possibly can.
Some people said after the fight, obviously, a lot of critics were like, maybe he's finally getting to his age. He started very young, as a teenager. He's not old in terms of age, but he started much earlier than most fighters would go pro. Did you see anything in yourself as a fighter that said, you know what, I see might be a little bit of a step off?
Of course, he started very young. I think he was 16 years old. 15 years old. He have a lot of fight now. I think his performance is going down, but he's still very dangerous. I think it's perfect timing for me to beat him.
Some critics say you have the perfect style for him, and then other critics are saying after a year off and elbow surgery, this is not the kind of fighter he may want to get in the ring with, who's going to go right to him in the first round and throw 100 punches around.
Of course, I think I'm very dangerous fighter for him, and but I have to be careful too because he's Canelo. He's not like a small boxer, but I think I will make a very statement with this fight, and I'm very dangerous for him.
Mbilli also revealed part of his game plan for facing Canelo in the ring. He believes his unique style will make him a difficult puzzle to solve, especially in the early rounds. Mbilli is confident that Canelo will need time to adjust to his movement and approach. He also believes his durable chin will make it difficult for Canelo to hurt him.
I'm going to put more pressure, more combination, and I'm going to work my defense too. But I'm in the ring to put great show, to make an amazing fight, and it will be the same for Canelo.
I think Canelo hasn't fought anyone with close to your style, in my opinion, probably since maybe someone like a James Kirkland at 154 pounds, but you're a lot bigger and a lot more intelligent in the way you fight than Kirkland. He was very reckless, and I think you have a better chin.
Of course, I have a better chin. I think, physically, yeah.
Do you think because Canelo traditionally in his fights, he likes to start slow, takes a couple of rounds, examine his opponents, and usually his opponents let him. Because of age and what you've seen, you have to be the regular Christian Mbilli from the first second and test the veteran's legs out and his stamina to see if you could deal with those 100 punches around.
I will not change anything, I will throw punch the first second and the last second of the fight, and I hope he will be ready, because it will be an amazing fight for him. I think he will regret to be in the ring.
During the interview, Mbilli also warned Canelo about his relentless pressure and high-volume punching, saying he believes that style will be difficult for Canelo to deal with. He is confident the Mexican star has never faced an opponent who applies pressure the way he does. Looking back at his last fight against Lester Martinez, which ended in a draw, Mbilli admitted he was nowhere near his best. He explained that a demanding 6-month training camp, followed by accepting a short-notice undercard bout with no time to recover.
Canelo, what do you think you do best that he won't be able to deal with, that he may not have seen before with his opponents, especially at super middleweight?
My aggressivity, my pressure. He never fight people who throw a lot of punch like me and put a lot of pressure. And I think, physically I'm going to destroy him.
Your last time out, you were with Lester Martinez, which was a tough fight. He's also very skilled, very tough fighter, and it was one of the better fights last year. It was a contender for many people for Fight of the Year. It wasn't the outcome you wanted. Obviously, you and your team felt strongly you should have gotten the decision. Is there still unfinished business there down the line?
Yeah, for this fight, I was not ready. I was not maybe in 15% of my ability, like my energy. I make a great training camp, but before this fight, I have made like 6 months of training camp before my last fight, and between my 2 fights, I was not have time to rest, and we have big opportunity to fight in undercut of Canelo and Crawford. We say yes, but I was not ready for this fight. I think if I had like 2-3 months of rest before the fight, it will be completely different fight. I think I will be able to destroy him like I do every time.
So did you feel like, as the fight went on, like a difference in your stamina and your endurance that you haven't felt because of the circumstances you just described?
Yeah. I was not 100% to this fight, and for sure, 100%.
Because I remember watching it up close, and I was very up close. I was like, wow, this fight's even better than I anticipated.
Yeah. And I was only 15% of my ability. If you see, if I was like 100%, it would be different.
Christian Mbilli is determined to pull off a historic upset against Canelo, and some experts believe he has the tools to shock the boxing world. Former world champion Sergio Mora also warned Canelo about the challenge Mbilli presents. Mora described Mbilli as a physical powerhouse who stays on his opponent's chest, switches stances, and applies relentless pressure with heavy power, making him a difficult fighter to look impressive against. He also pointed out that Canelo is now an older, battle-tested veteran with more than 75 professional fights who relies more on his presence and experience than getting into brutal exchanges. Because Canelo is unlikely to box and move for long stretches, Mora believes this matchup could turn into a very physical and dangerous night for the Mexican superstar.
Between Lester Martinez and Billy, I'd much rather him fight Lester Martinez. Both of them are similar in stature, but Lester Martinez is more of a boxer where he can give you chances of him pulling back and you can crack him. And Billy stays in your chest. He's a fucking tank. He stays in your chest. He squares up. He fights from the southpaw stance, left-handed stance. Hard to look good against guys like that, and a natural, bigger fighter. That's going to be a tougher fight for Canelo. And at this stage of Canelo's career, he doesn't like physical fights. He likes to impose his aura. He likes to impose his reputation. Guys to be intimidated. It ain't going to be Christian Mbilli. Billy has power, aggression, and he's ready for this moment, ready for the payday. It's going to be a tough fight for Canelo. Mark my words, man. Tough fight for Canelo.
And it's something else. Just it speaks to who Canelo still is, though. When you talk about a guy like Canelo Alvarez coming back against a guy like Mbilli, I mean, just lost by the skin of his teeth the last time out versus Martinez.
It was a draw.
It was a draw, exactly. But what do you think has to happen? And it's weird because it feels like he lost. But because I guess where Lester went on to achieve glory. But what do you think that Canelo has to do to look good versus Mbilli? What do you think he should be working on right now to come back strong?
Look, man, the only way to make it an easy night against a style like Mbilli is boxing. Canelo's not a boxer. Canelo's not going to be moving. Canelo's a flat-footed fighter. He's an older flat-footed fighter with 75 damn professional fights. He's been fighting professionally since he was 15. He's war-torn. The last thing you want is to be war-torn, to have physical ailments, and be in there in a physical fight with an undefeated puncher that's hungry for this moment. You got to give it to Canelo for stepping up. They must have paid him a huge amount of money, that Saudi money, to step in with Mbilli. It was a dangerous fight for him, man. It was a dangerous fight.
Doesn't make sense. That's not a real fight. So real fighters fight real fights.
But since how the date is opening up, would you like to, cement September and May for you guys?
Over. May and September, we're taking over.
Jose, do you think that was strategic of them to try to, wait for this weekend, right? First he announced that he's coming to the fight, then he announced, his next fight, kind of seeming to ride the coattails a little bit of David?
I think he's chasing cloud, to be honest, to promote his fight and do more appearances. We know where Canelo's going. He was pound per pound. He's not even ranking the rankings right now, so I think we're all going to go through that stage, and I think his era is done, Reflexes, speed, power, legs are not there. So we see a Canelo declining little by little. And now he's trying to get some clout to promote his fight.
With his skills diminishing, like in your opinion, how does the Mbilli fight play out? Because Mbilli's a tough guy, right?
To be honest, it could be another loss for him. Like I said, Mbilli's a little bit fresher. But, I don't think he's an elite fighter. At the end of the day, they're trying to put fighters that he can beat. Not guaranteed, but fighters that are not, nobody wants to see that fight. It's not an exciting fight. He doesn't bring any more excitement to the fight. He hasn't brought any excitement to the fights. So, Cinco de Mayo's open for a great opportunity for the Mexican monster. We are going to look spectacular. We can't just win a fight. We got to look spectacular in order to show the people that we belong here. And we're taking over September also.
Who do you think wins the fight this September? Will Canelo reclaim his place at the top? Or can Christian Mbilli shock the boxing world? Let us know your predictions in the comments. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another update. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.